welcome to the Funhouse.
What's up?
Another live edition on video, which I know most people don't want.
We think this will be the last one.
Probably, unless we get abandoned. We have big things coming here. We're at Knox Community Media tonight, again, where we've done a couple shows already. And I want to thank, because Bunny couldn't be here, so we got Scarlett is helping us out.
Thank you, Scarlett.
Get this going. Thank you, Scarlett. So we're going to have some guests here. We're going to have Shane Jackson from a new county commissioner, and Miss Gloria Johnson is going to be back with us again here in a bit, running against Marsha Blackburn. I'm sure she has a lot to talk about.
Yes, I would say. So we have big news. So basically, we have decided that with help from Amos here at Knox Community Media, that we are going to start a new station here at KCM, to be named. We don't know what we're going to call it yet, but we do have the bulk of the specialty shows that were fired, the volunteers that were fired by the University of Tennessee Volunteers.
Thank you, College of Communications.
Yes, Joe Mazer.
And Jody.
It's more Joe, I think, but whatever. Yeah, so we're doing it here. So except we won't be on TV. It'll be internet radio, and we do have streaming capability for if bands come in to the studio, we can have them in here and have that play live while we're doing the show. So there's a lot of cool capabilities that we're going to have here, broadcasting from anywhere, cameras out and about. So it's a very cool opportunity.
We can remote. We can go elsewhere. They're building a radio station in here. It's been an idea, I guess, for a while, and finally, when this all went down, and Bunny Amos was like, "Hey, come down," and we could get this going. And there's a lot of moving parts. We've had a lot of people. I think we have probably a dozen or 10 people from WTK that are going to come over and going to bring in a lot of specialty shows. And in fact, hey, Sarah, come here. Yeah, we're going to call her out since she came down, and she's
and said she was not getting.
Shane and Gloria aren't here yet, so we might as well. Bring Sarah in. So she is your multifaceted DJ.
Ever multifaceted DJ.
Ever multifaceted. Sarah?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, I could just be a voice in the crowd.
You're not going to be the voice. No. Look, there's a chair.
There's a chair.
There's a chair.
I understand that. I'm camera shy.
No, you're not camera shy at all.
Don't. Yeah, she doesn't have to.
I'm absolutely.
She doesn't have to.
Okay, anyway.
All right.
She does a show on New Revolutions every Sunday. She's going to be doing it every Sunday. It's going to be the same time.
Right.
Same time. And going to get her doing that. And we're going to have locals only. We're still working on even a show maybe that's going to be happening, another locals only live. Maybe happening as normal. And
JJ will be doing that.
We're going to have maybe some smells, not the smells, maybe the portion 80s on me. We're going to
we don't know.
Play. We don't know. We're figuring it all out. A lot of moving parts, but a lot of people are going to be local honey. All going to be moving.
BT is going to bring edutainment and gold standard hip-hop.
Edutainment. So it's going to be good stuff. And that should
and
go
metal.
live.
We just found out Scarlett did the metal show, so she's going to bring the funeral director.
Scarlett did. Man, all right. We're going to have to talk.
I've been asking who does. How do we get in touch with the metal show? So
Scarlett.
We did tonight. So perfect.
Well, that connection has been made.
Yeah.
All right, so we can talk metal. And
so we're doing a fundraiser for
that's
this.
what I was going to say.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were going. We're doing a fundraiser for this at Lost and Found Records on Sunday. It starts at 4:00. And do we have I don't remember the order. I should probably
my glasses.
I probably do need your glasses. No, it'll be all right. I'll figure it out.
Hey, look.
There we go.
Cheryl the phone girl.
So I got it. So Shayla McDaniel is going to kick things off at 4. After that, Becky Grace and the Sidewalk Dandelions. That'll be, I guess, at 5. 6 o'clock, Ghost Blanket, which I have a vested interest in. My son Will plays bass in that, and what's basically my stepson, I guess. Oliver plays guitar and sings, and then Ren, who is just his drumming has come a long way just in this little bit of time. What?
Derek's not wearing his reader, so I don't know if we can see, but he's had to blow this up. He's blown up this flyer to larger than the Reader's Digest large font. What in the hell are these? Do these not work?
I didn't put them on.
Okay.
I have this.
Such as, okay. And then Dos Fuegos.
Dos Fuegos will play right after Ghost Blanket, and then Eric Caldwell and the Cruise Control ends things, and it'll all be over by 9 o'clock. So
Pop in, say hey.
Yeah.
We're going to have a way to maybe donate some money.
there
It's
is, I
gonna be great.
believe, on knoxcm.org, there's a place to donate. And this is just, we're getting equipment and getting the materials to build the studio in the front in the fishbowl. So that's going to be very cool, just where we're broadcasting from, too.
Yeah, we're trying to keep this. So we lost a big local connection to. We're big local music nerds forever, and way too long longer than we want to admit. And we lost a big connection to all that when that went under through that debacle. And so we're trying to. A whole bunch of us are like, let's just get together and keep this thing going. And all the businesses and everybody's kind of been behind it. And shout out to Mike and Maria out at Lost and Found for jumping on board with this and like, hey, let's get some live music out here in the parking lot, like Record Store Day or like the Super Drag practice.
Yeah.
And
We're hoping to do that fairly frequently. I think they, once I think they threw out once a month, and I was like, you don't want to do that once a month.
no, that's
You just don't. So maybe every 3 or 4 months we'll do something over there with those guys. We'll work that out. But that's an opportunity to do some more fundraisers there and just get out in the community. So that's what we're trying to do.
we have a guest has arrived that'll actually come in, unlike Sarah and and Phone Girl, but our new county commissioner.
Newly minted.
Not official yet, but going to be soon. Mr.
I'll scoot over this
Oh,
way.
we're moving. All right. Mr. Shane Jackson, County Commission elect.
How are you guys?
We're doing great. And look
am
at this.
a lot
better
He's
now.
wearing a
Wayne
Wayne
Stock,
stock.
a
Wayne
Dean.
Stock, yes.
Yeah.
Adeem
Adeem the artist.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adeem playing on PBS tomorrow night. We're going to record it live.
Wow.
Over in North Carolina. Yeah.
I just saw him in Asheville Monday
killing
night.
it. Oh, you
with,
saw
Jason
Isbell.
With Isbell? Yeah.
Isbell covered The Cure.
Really?
Did he do pictures of you? What do you do?
No, he did Just Like Heaven, and he also covered More Than This by More Than
On Monday.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. And the Adeem open. So anyway,
Nice.
so yeah, you're District 4. We'd actually met beforehand, and then I think I signed your petition to get on the ballot. We were hanging out at a local watering establishment in a watering hole, and it's like, well, this is our friend. Let's sign this. And I would go, okay, and whatever. And you got on the ballot, and you ran, and then
He left me.
showed up at the house one day, and I was like, we're good. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I was out of town when he came by, and I got a note that's just mentioned, Benny, bring back Benny, and I was like, well, if I didn't know him, that was a good politicking, because I would have been like, all right, this guy's kind of cool. If I didn't, so I'm gonna see what this guy's about. He's probably not a raving lunatic conservative. So
I'm a raving lunatic.
you're a raving lunatic. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all right. We are
that
too.
part.
So, but yeah.
But no, I'm here to support you guys and to support, the upcoming fundraiser on Sunday. And
It's gonna be great. And you, so I'm glad you won. I mean,
Yeah.
you had a good turnout. I figured I felt good about it. We were just talking earlier about this. You flipped a seat, obviously, from and I don't.
Yeah,
in my mind, on a local level, local elections are the most important.
they are.
But it also, because you can make the most difference there. But also, I think in something at that level, you're all kind of just wanting the same thing, and it's not as big of a deal. And you obviously were the best one for it, and you should have won. So everything you're lined up. But I could have. What do you think of charter schools? Yeah, we probably know that.
Well, I mean, as far as the vouchers that are
Yeah.
the big thing, I'm opposed to them, but it's really, how do we react to that as a community? Because, I'm not going to have an impact or a vote at the state level, but if it does pass, if you look at other states like Arizona and in Broward County, Florida, they are closing down over 50 elementary schools this coming year because of the how many people in the wealthiest areas are taking part in the voucher program. And in Maricopa County, Arizona, they're closing down some of the best rated schools. So these aren't the bad schools that are being closed down. These are some of the best schools. So that means the schools that will be impacted will be Sequoia Hills, West Hills,
Yeah.
Bearden,
Beaumont.
Wet Bluegrass, Rocky Hill. These are
Maricopa
the schools.
County hasn't always been known for the best of anything.
Well, the schools that are shut down there are rated A. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like the worst schools in the
Right.
district. They are actually the best schools in the district because that's where the families are that can afford the private school.
Right. Well,
So-
and then they're already finding out that they're having nightmares with just the whole organization with some of the charter
No,
schools.
it's been a total
of the
mess,
horror
and we have a
stories.
lot of great schools. I know I had a Bearden Elementary, Bearden Middle, West High, and I believe you were the same except for Rocky Hill.
Rocky Hill.
I went to Rocky Hill,
Oh wow.
so
Okay.
I went to Rocky Hill.
I got
Did
airlifted
you
out
do
of
the
Rocky
turkey
Hill.
trot as a kindergartner?
No, that was turkey trot wasn't a thing
Oh really? Okay.
when I was a kindergartner, but I did the maypole in fifth grade.
Okay.
They still do the maypole where you dance around.
I think that's bygone.
Oh,
so
great.
I don't-
Okay, bring back the
But the turkey trot, that's something that I hope lasts the next several generations.
Huh,
It's a
no, I
great
did not
thing.
turkey trot. Okay,
Turkey
well,
trot's the
but
best
yeah,
thing.
all those
Rocky
schools are
Hill.
just awesome. I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
They're great schools, and Beaumont, Beard Middle, and West High, and so
Magnet.
it's all great schools. Love them.
Beaumont
West.
Magnet. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. West is a good school. Beard Middle, which I hated when I was there. It had some
It's middle school.
PTSD going.
We
in.
all hated.
We
middle
did,
school.
yeah. It sucked, but we have a lot of good schools here, and I hate to see someone, that whole thing, your whole platform. That I mean, looking at, because I got a mailer. You spent a lot on mailers
Yeah.
because they were coming every couple of days, and I was like, no, I got it.
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of money. I mean, the most any Democrat has ever raised in Knox County for a commission race or any kind of race was around $33,000.
Wow.
And we almost got to $80,000.
Wow.
That's how much
That's a
energy
good
there
sign.
was.
Oh, you did
So-
finally got me.
got you.
So
Yeah.
we didn't send out $80,000 of mailers, but we probably sent out probably $30,000 or $40,000. I mean, every time you send out a mailer, it's $8,000. So you know,
That's crazy.
crazy.
So
yeah. But
I
they
am-
say that that's still the most knocking on a door.
Yeah.
I knocked on both of your doors,
Yep.
but that's the most effective. And then second most effective is direct mail, believe it or not.
Huh, that's crazy.
I mean,
But
because
yeah,
you shuffle through it, you
Yeah,
got to
social
see
media is very, very, very little impact.
it. Really?
the everything on there, it was from the schools to and supporting teachers to a lot of issues that everybody kind of agrees on in Knoxville. But one of the biggest things is also just the housing and rent and the cost of living around here.
Yeah.
And you know this because you got 3 kids. I got one that just graduated college and another one that just moved into a Fun Girls apartment complex. And she hears me complain about this all the time because she's a landlord. But it costs rent for a student around here anywhere, not just in an apartment or a place like that, but just even we lived in the Fort in Dives. And those places
They
have
were
now
blast.
been taken over. And yeah, we had a great time.
I mean, the dives are $1,200-$1,300 a
It's-
bedroom.
It's more than my
we
mortgage.
paid $600 right behind Copper Cellar for our house
Yeah,
in the
it's-
90s.
it was nuts.
That was 30
Yeah.
years ago, but still, that seems excessive
And it's
to where
so
it is
expensive.
now.
And I'm like, we got to do something about this because it's too expensive to the housing market. And I mean, I just sold my mom's house. I cashed in on that, what I could do, but at the same time, it's
How
not
are our
affordable.
kids and-
How is a kid like my daughter just looking for a job? And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford rent for a place, at a starter salary, no matter what I do.
Well, when I was knocking doors, I spoke to somebody who owned a business, and it was an IT company. You're an IT guy, and they were hiring a guy from Memphis, and the guy from Memphis accepted it, came here, met with realtors, and said, "No way, it's too expensive here. It doesn't make
Which
sense
is-
for me to move from Memphis."
Which
Yeah.
is crazy. That
Yeah.
did not used to be the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're people just quit coming. We're okay.
I know, I'm starting to see
Knoxville is full.
more Bentleys and Ferraris and stuff like that cruising around town
Yeah.
at this time. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the Knoxville Realtors Association says that there's about 5,000 to 6,000 shortage of houses and total doors, and that includes apartments and everything. So, we have to have responsible development. We can't just keep sprawling and sprawling, because every house that we build in the rural areas, the taxes that we get off that house does not cover the expenses of infrastructure,
Oh, yeah.
schools, housing, all the everything that goes into running the county government is a cash loss for every house. So how do we rectify that? Well, you build more density along your thoroughfares. Like if you look at Cumberland Avenue, which I just drove down. By the way, I thought,
You don't want to take
It's so
Cumberland now.
sad.
I was like, Cumberland Avenue, this is going to be great. I'll just zip right through it this time of night.
No.
I forgot about students just moving in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this week.
Frogger down there.
Kneeling and up the hill. No, you got
It took me like an hour to get here from Bearden.
Yeah, to get Cumberland is it's they want to make it more pedestrian friendly. We'll make it gridlock, and it's going to be more pedestrian friendly.
Might as well just shut it down.
I
Just
mean, that's
make
what
it
just make it a
completely-
greenway or whatever. Whatever. What the hell do you call those things? Is it a greenway?
No, Greenway is where we have a lot of greenways. He's very pro Greenway too.
Right, but they turned it a pedestrian area. Anyway, they did it at UT for a while behind Hodges, and now I think it's a road again.
Yeah, it is a road again, but yeah.
They basically just shut it down and make it pedestrian.
Yeah, but Knoxville has one of the best greenway systems around.
Oh, no doubt.
phenomenal.
I can
And-
actually see Knoxville doing that during game days. Just shutting down.
That's
Cumberland
not a bad
Avenue,
idea.
and
It
just
should.
and just have it for emergency vehicles only.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's just I cannot imagine what it's like with 125,000 people trying to.
Yeah,
jam
it's
on that
it's
street.
useless. It's going to be a total disaster during the 2 nights of Morgan Wallen. So if you're all going to that, have fun.
If you're all going to that, just take me off your friends
I am
list.
not going, and I'm not going to be anywhere near the stage, so I don't get hit by his chair. So.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want. I know that the stadium's a lot taller than the bar they threw it off of. So anyway, but yeah, we do have a good, and the greenways connect everything around here, and I think it's phenomenal. I've run them and bike them all the time. So
Yeah, they're
good
great,
stuff,
but we need more of them.
no, we do. To get them all connected where we have them.
Yeah.
And there's a great one up in Blount County, and I know that down the road there's this has been a thing that Kincannon is for the foreseeable future is thrown out there a plan to let's find a way to connect those two together.
Absolutely.
To get
yeah.
it would be
There's a
awesome
plan out there.
because there's already I don't think a lot of people understand what we have over here in South Knox with the
Oh yeah.
the urban wilderness is
Oh, yeah.
a diamond. If you go out to the pump track out there, I'll go skateboard around on that sometimes, and I always see out of state license plates in the parking lot. And these guys, I ran into 2 dudes that drove all the way up, drove overnight from Texas, just to come bike that.
One of the most difficult things about this year in politicking is I have not been on my mountain bike yet this year. And now that the election is over, I can't. Of course, it rained today.
Right.
But I can't wait. I'll go to Sharps Ridge maybe this weekend. That's a little better on the range.
Yeah, and the weather starts to cool. You're not, riding around in 100-degree heat
But
with
we have
80%.
We have
humidity.
great trails, and Icy King is a trail that most people don't think about.
Off Alcoa.
And it's not real intense, but for people who are getting older like myself, and want to ride at a moderate speed, I like Icy King.
Yeah,
That would work for me.
Yeah, or flat. Well, the Greenway works for me because
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
The Greenway is nice.
it's paved. I'd be like,
It is
I can,
nice.
yeah.
I can ride from my house all the way to Alliance and back,
Yeah.
and be like, I don't have to worry about going over bumps.
A couple years ago, I broke my ankle out on Concord trails, just doing a stupid jump with my son,
Yeah, I've been out
trying to
there.
impress my 16-year-old son, and that took about 2 years to heal. So I do not jump anymore.
Way to go, Dad! Injured yourself. That's great. So I believe we have a mutual friend that's having a rotator cuff surgery next week.
Yes,
too.
we do.
He's
Yes.
trying to show off on a wakeboard or skiing or something like that. I think. So,
Yeah,
I know you're not paying attention, Rob, but I'm talking trash about you anyway.
Yeah, he's having surgery next Thursday.
So as we're all older people discussing this, I'll even admit I was doing the beer market group run on Monday, and I hit the top of Mellon. Was looking at my watch, messing with the headphones. Next thing you know, I was in a full body roll on the ground. Went in with the shoulder, which still hurts.
No.
And another guy goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I did that quick 2-second assessment of I don't think anything's broken. I'm going to get it again." It was ridiculous. It hurt, and here I am.
I hope to maybe one day get back to the Bearden beer runs, but ever since COVID, it's the beer walk for me. So
there's walkers there.
Yeah.
What fun girl you do? I don't speak your language. There you go. Somebody's here. We're having some other people show up. So yeah, when do you when's it official? When's it actually? When do you get
September 3rd.
September 3rd?
So that's when I get sworn in. 10 a.m. Anybody can come.
Okay.
It's at the Tennessee Theater.
Nice.
And
Oh,
then we
wow.
have- and
Okay.
then we have our first commission meeting following thereafter at like 1:00, I believe, and that's where we basically pass the gavel. And it's not a real commission meeting; it's just passing the gavel,
Yeah.
taking your seat, and
Well, they run. Scarlett would know. I know city council meetings air every Tuesday night. Do they air county commission meetings?
Yes.
Also aired on here. So yeah, so
Yeah.
you can pick that up also at knoxcm.org, stream it anywhere, and on your local cable channel if you got that, we can post that info.
Yeah.
Because it's on. I have YouTube TV, but it's on Comcast.
I'm
and
getting
all
ready
that.
to get it again because football season's starting. So.
But you can stream that anywhere, and you can watch county commission meetings. And a lot of times, those I always find them interesting. I could watch them all the time. To most people, they seem kind of just boring. But
We need some Chad Krogers and those guys that out in California that go to that crash
Oh,
all
yeah.
those
They're like,
county commission.
yeah.
what we need, dude.
Yeah, it's always so ridiculous because they want to party and they're
It's
going
phenomenal. Yeah, it's
really
good
good.
stuff. Yeah, you need to get a viral county commission clip.
I tell you what, you guys can do that. Come on and get viral.
Yeah, we'll discreetly show up one day, dressed up, be like, "Hey,
see if we can get
Shane's
arrested.
going to be going. Oh no, what are they
I'll tell
here
you
for? What's on the agenda?
I'll start yelling at you, and you start yelling at me, and we'll go.
We'll
viral.
make it really good. See you outside. Wink, wink. Oh, anyway, awesome. Well, that's so September 3rd, Tennessee Theater. Anybody can come, and then you got your first meeting. And I think you're going to do a killer job on this. I'm
Thank
very
you.
happy you
Thank
won.
you.
So, and
Appreciate you.
I've had some commissioners that have been useless.
Have you noticed
in
like a
recent
big
years.
change? Like, has there been a big change in the population in that district?
I mean,
Well,
they're-
Knox County as a whole has increased in
Right.
population, and most of it has been west. Not the pockets of areas that have been growing have been, Farragut area, Hardin
Yeah.
Valley,
Good.
Carnes.
Go out there.
and it's kind of rotating along. Carnes, and then Powell is big, and then it'll probably rotate down to Strawberry Plains and that area eventually. So yeah.
Man, yeah. I didn't go to Powell for a long time until I ended up out there for a volleyball game, and I was like, I cannot believe the traffic that is out here. It's insane. That and
Oh, I
Hardin
know.
Valley are both just
I
crazy.
know.
The amount,
Yeah.
the explosion out there, and we don't have the infrastructure to support that.
When
many
my
people.
when my kids
Crazy.
used to do cross country in middle school and elementary school,
Yeah.
we would meet at Hardin Valley at Pellissippi Community College.
Yeah.
They would set up a cross country track, and it would be once you get with all the parents in all of Knox County and surrounding counties coming during rush hour.
yeah,
I
right after
mean-
school. Yeah.
I mean, we would show up late because it would be backed up all the way to Dutchtown Road
Yeah, it's
trying to
crazy.
get to Hardin Valley, and I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, that whole area out there. So I like where I'm at. I'm very convenient.
The only good thing that happened from Turkey Creek getting built, because obviously it destroyed all the wetlands, and that's awful. But it does keep those people out that way.
We got a buffer.
There's a
Yeah,
buffer.
there's a buffer.
They take an adventure and go downtown to where all the the
Well,
crazy
that's
stuff.
called East Nashville.
Right, right. That's pretty much correct. Yes,
Man, maybe less hipsters.
right. Definitely less hipsters.
I guarantee you they sell PBR. Or don't sell as much PBR
No,
as East
no.
Nashville.
No.
No. All right. Well, yeah, so that's awesome. Well, I think Lori's here. We want to make sure we can get her in and out because I know she's busy
Well, I
too.
know.
She's still campaigning. And
Yeah, she's still fighting.
She's fighting, and she can probably explain this when she gets here. But in the polling, she's actually polling more than 50%
Yeah.
on women here in Tennessee, and all we have to do now is convince men to vote for Gloria. So that's what we need to do is get.
I mean,
more
we're
men
going to, but
vote.
that doesn't
Yeah,
really count.
absolutely. All three
Yeah.
of us.
He said men.
well, he's
But
talking about other people.
Other people.
other people other than
Right.
us. But yeah, so.
No, awesome. Well, man, I want to thank you for taking the time out to come down. I didn't know until Derek told me. He's like, I think we've got Shane Jackson come down. I was like, well, awesome. I was like, that's great. We got a brand new county commissioner. And like I said, I've had some bad ones that even one when I wasn't going to vote for him again. And I told the campaigner person that he showed up the next day.
Oh my
And
goodness.
came and I was like, why are you back? Leave. You suck. Anyway, and then,
You suck.
so-
Well, do you know? Let me ask. I'm going to be paid for as a county commissioner for the next 4 years.
yeah.
There's a question for you and your audience. What do you think the legal requirement is for me? How much participation do I need to do in order to receive that paycheck over the next 4 years?
Maybe do you have to go to one meeting a month?
I don't know.
I thought We can go. I'll go with that. Yeah.
0.
0? You don't have
There
to. You
is
mean
no
no show?
legal requirement for me to do anything. I do not have to go to a single meeting.
Congratulations.
I do not
man.
have to go to a single
Dude, you're
committee
gonna crush
meeting.
it.
All right, I will be running for county commission next time.
There's no legal requirement, but the amount of hours that it actually takes to do it the right way,
Right. Yeah.
to be part of the community, you've got to show up. It's like in sales, they say, showing up is 80% of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's absolutely true. The same with politics. But, I look forward to being part of the community, meeting everybody that I can in the community, and representing the 4th District as best I can.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna crush it. It's gonna be
Thank
good. I have good feelings about it. So someone that actually cares, gives a damn.
Yes.
So because Lord knows we haven't had one of those for a while. So not that we're suffering in the 4th District. I think we're doing okay.
we're a good, we're a good
and-
district. We're
Yeah. And you have a little bleed over with Lori's district too.
that is
Part of
correct.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, because they gerrymandered
Just
the
a-
hell out of her. Good God.
Oh yeah.
Whew,
Yeah.
man.
Can we get rid of that? Well, how do we?
It's a different
Take a look
conversation.
at like
Yeah.
Brian Goldberg. He's running for a seat. Take a look at that district. I mean, it is. I've never seen gerrymandering. It pulls a little bit from South Knoxville, Sequoia Hills, and then it goes all the way up by Victor Ash Park and out towards Hardin Valley. And it's just like this street and then this street and then that street.
Well, that's like what they do in Austin. Like that's the only blue place in Texas, and they've got the district going so far out into the suburbs that they still can turn it red.
That's why Texas sucks.
Yeah, I'm from there. And, yeah.
From there, but spend more than half his life here.
Oh yeah, I've been here. I'm from here, I guess. Technically. I was
But I'll tell you and your viewers, I mean, if you study the demographics and the demographic changes in Knox County, probably within 2 election cycles, meaning 8 years,
Yeah.
we will probably get very close to flipping the entire county blue.
Oh, that's going to
And
happen.
probably
Yeah.
by 12 years, it will be a solid blue county.
Exactly, because a lot of those people are also going to die off over the next 8 years. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It happened.
Well, I mean, that's going to happen.
Oh no! Yeah,
75% of all voters were over the age of like 55 or 60. So
And now I'm about to be close to that age where I'm going to be
Well, yeah, your demographic.
like, oh, the old people. Damn, that's me. That's-
yeah, I still think I'm a young and
Yeah.
hip, but
you
no, I was
know.
never hip, but I was young once.
Oh, no.
Well, thank you
Awesome.
guys
Well, thank
for
you for
having
coming
me.
in, man.
Thank you.
Awesome, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so
All
much.
Good luck and see you guys Sunday.
All righty.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Party at the Lost and Found Records Sunday at 4:00.
Yeah, 4:00. And like I said, we got Becky Grace. It's going to be there. Ghost Blanket.
Shayla. Did I say that right? I hadn't seen her before.
I don't know. Anyway, well, whatever. We're all good.
Dos Fuegos.
Oh, Dos Fuegos. Yeah.
Eric
Ghost
Caldwell in
Blanket.
the cruise control.
Woo, what happened?
And beverages, if you're old enough from
If you're old enough,
Alliance.
there's going to be beverages.
Yeah, there will
Yeah,
be
and
beverages.
also, well, we want to give a shout out to Roxy. He's correcting me. Roxy Music was what Isbell covered the other night. Thanks, Benny. I'm glad you're watching. Shout out to Mr. Benny Smith who's out there watching, and
This is what our show is normally like, Benny. It's always like this.
Yes.
all the time, except you just can't visualize.
So,
it.
yeah,
You
I
look
mean,
at
but
us,
if you ever listened to us before, it's typically this.
Cheryl's a
kind of
lot
thing.
louder though.
Yeah, that's true.
Normally, there's a lot of clapping
Chatter.
going on behind. It's like chatter. Blah, 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 blah.
Not true.
Yeah, it is
Not
true.
true.
Benny knows you. He knows you got a megaphone
Well,
in your throat.
yeah.
So anyway, but I think we may have a couple other people show up that's from the station at some point. I don't know who else is going to come down.
Do we know that or no?
We don't know that. We don't know what we're doing.
We don't.
So anyway, we were going to take a break, were we? No, we're good. All right, we want to roll.
I
right
wanted
into-
to take a break. Is there
I don't know
anything
if
we
we
can
can
put
take a
on?
I don't know if there's something we can put on.
Huh?
Yeah, I think you can.
Can.
I think maybe someone has to pee.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Okay, yes. You're allowed.
I'm in no rush.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm
All
going
right.
to take a break.
Cool. Take a break.
I'm not a producer.
Be
I'm
back in just a
homegirl.
minute. All right. Well, hey, man. Good Lord. You're not producing very well.
Love?
I don't, yes.
Okay.
I don't produce.
Hello, hello. How's it going? All right. Good, good, good.
Have you met Shane? You know Shane, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Flipped. Why are you wearing red? Don't wear red.
It's kind of orange.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It's 100% orange.
I don't really have anything red. So it was
I
something
know.
I was supposed to wear red for. I was like, I don't have red. I've got orange or pink, but I don't have red.
I guess that is orange.
It's definitely orange.
That's red. Is that red? All right, and we're back.
Oh, we're back. Hello. Got that out of the way. I was actually bleeding, I think from a dog scratch, a puppy scratch. And I looked down while we were talking to Shane. I was like, why is blood on my hand?
Nice.
I'm going, oh, look, I got blood running down my leg.
Nice.
Anyway. All right. So thank you, Shane, coming in. And,
Yeah, congrats, Shane.
once
And
again,
thanks for
Sunday,
taking the time.
Lost and Found Records, 4 o'clock. Four bands, going to be great. Pop in whenever you can. Go over
5.
there.
5.
Oh, God almighty. 5?
5.
4 to 9.
Yeah.
4 to 9 p.m.
4 to 9.
Lost and Found Records.
Every time.
Okay. Okay. So, as this whole thing was being built up, my phone was blowing up, and I'm like, some of you people don't work because I can't answer this crap because
I'm
you're
working.
organized. You're not working.
I have-
Oh, come on. You're not working. I had to mute
Well,
it.
I was off today, actually.
There's like 100 messages
I
in
was
like
off
2
today.
hours.
I moved Will
I'm not
into
talking
the
about
thing.
today. Anyway, that's why I didn't know there were 5 bands.
Okay.
So, I know now. Anyway, all right. So, show up for that. Help us out. We'll get a link posted sometime soon. And
Even if it's a
maybe-
buck.
Maybe I'll post a link since you screwed up the link.
I
to
fixed it.
to this. You fixed it at 7:58,
Well, it's before 8.
so it was all right. We got Miss Gloria Johnson in the house, and I want to thank her for coming down. She's going to come join us.
She's fighting the good fight.
She's fighting the good fight, Gloria, and
Against the Wicked Witch of
she
the
won.
West.
She won her primary. Do you want to go in the middle? Let's put you in
Doesn't
the middle.
matter to me.
No, you go in the middle. You're wearing orange, and we're wearing black. It'll be a Gloria Oreo.
There you go.
Glorio.
There you go. It's a Glorio. All right. Thank you for coming back down, and congratulations on your win.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been really exciting. Lots going on.
You're getting ready to go somewhere.
Getting ready to go somewhere. I'm getting ready to go to the convention.
Yeah, it's not your first.
Not my
No.
first. That's right. That's
Which is
right.
2008 your first?
2008 was my first.
Went to-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you went to Denver too.
Yeah. Yeah. I did go in 12 as well. And this feels just as exciting.
It's going to be great. I think there's some good momentum going right now. I feel really good. It's weird how it all shifted in the course of
A day.
well a day. But we were
day,
talking about
really.
we were going like, man, this just happened 2 weeks ago. It is a completely different world right now.
Yeah.
And
I just
Phil-
love Walls taking shots. That's my favorite. The couch blast he got
he's-
off was nice.
He's such a great guy, and for them to try to paint him as this
It's
demon.
the best.
You know, here's a guy in a picture with a pig, and here he is on a roller coaster with his daughter. And,
Football coach,
here
that
he
gay
is.
rights
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Here's his military picture.
Right.
Yeah, y'all.
Like,
he's
he put
awful.
tampons in the bathroom.
Oh no!
Which is
just-
apparently a military
He
thing.
fed kids, hungry kids.
Yeah.
Isn't that a military thing? Like, if they do something in one, they do it in the other?
So,
Like,
crazy
everything's
one
the same.
So
anyway.
when are you going to debate?
Well, I hope it's going to be soon. We're pushing. You know, the Tennessean has asked me if I'm willing, and I said absolutely.
Please?
And to my what they put in the paper was that she didn't answer. And then
She really serves the people.
WATE reached out as well and asked if I'd do a televised debate, and I said absolutely. So I'm just waiting on my opponent.
She doesn't want any of that.
No. She's not going to touch that. I have found, but it would be great if they actually gave you the platform and you showed up and someone didn't.
I think the people deserve to hear from both of us
Right,
on
this
what
is a
we want to
candidate.
do for Tennessee, because I went around. I've been to 88 counties so far. We've got a few more. We've got 7 more counties to do, and of the 95 county tour, and it was all completely public. Anybody could come. It was posted on our website. To my knowledge, she has not had any public events.
Really?
She had an event last week here in town that I RSVP'd for, but I never got sent the location. 'Cause
Right.
I think I'm on a list, maybe.
I talked to several people who tried to go and were not allowed. So mine are in public places, and restaurants, and places in each county that anyone could come to. And so we wanted to make sure that no one felt excluded. So we didn't have just strictly Democratic events or anything
Right,
like that.
yeah.
We just came to a local place where locals like to go so they could come and talk and ask questions. And so it really went well. But one thing I heard was, thank you so much for coming to our county because nobody comes here.
Exactly.
And you know, people talk about, or a lot of Republican politicians talk a lot
Small town.
about, we're doing this for rural and that for rural. Well, all the great things that are happening in rural Tennessee right now came from the infrastructure bill that every single Republican in D.C. voted against.
Well,
now they're claiming that they did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, so
Take
that's
credit when they get it.
the amount of people that vote against their own interests is just mind blowing.
You know, and part of that I blame on gerrymandering. So there's a lot of counties in the state that aren't represented by a Democrat. You know, they don't have Democratic representation in the House or the Senate. The only message they're getting is the other side, which we know they're not honest with you. And we also know they're not working for the people. Yeah. Because if they were working for the people, they'd be expanding Medicaid, which more than 70% of all parties want. They would be making sure that we had gun sense legislation that 80% of all Tennessee wants, including all parties. They would be making sure we're fully funding public education instead of siphoning money away for that voucher scam.
Yes.
And they're not listening to the people. And they're not telling the truth about what they're passing and who they're working for, which is lobbyists and billionaires.
Mm-hmm. I actually had a total, not changing the subject, but a friend of ours asked a question. He's like, well, he has a sign in his yard. Mm-hmm. He's like, what is Gloria for legalizing weed?
Absolutely.
And I was like, of course she is.
I support, not only do I support cannabis reform, but 81% of Tennesseans support medical cannabis, and more than 60% now support recreational.
Yeah.
So the majority of Tennesseans, and that's a big issue in rural counties. Mm-hmm. They want cannabis reform, but their folks are afraid of it, and they're also getting their pockets filled by big pharma.
Oh yeah.
So do the math.
Yeah. So anyway, but there's actually I think Biden's going out with a reducing. I looked at the list of the 20 drugs. And it's every one that you have a commercial for. You know, so if people don't know, I don't think it kicks in until 2026, but it would reduce. It would save billions and millions of dollars, especially even through Medicaid, to negotiate cost on the most needed pharmaceuticals. A lot of them are for diabetes and whatnot. It was all stuff
cardiac.
And but there was Jardiance, and it was everything.
She voted against it.
So of course she voted against it.
Right.
Yeah, Marcia voted against it. Also, one of the biggest receivers of big pharma dollars.
Right, and that's the thing that people don't hear either in the rural area.
And capping insulin, she voted against capping insulin. That was part of that. People like to say that former guy did it, but what he did was an executive order for a smaller group of folks, which, if you don't codify it, anybody can undo it.
Right.
And so what Biden and his administration and the Democrats did was codify it so that it can't be undone.
Yeah. So
excellent.
It's awesome. We got that going for us. I think it's going to help a lot of people out because the pharmaceutical industry right now is just terrible, especially if you have children that are on control any kind of medication. It's just disgusting how we don't cover that now. Now we got to go to generic. Right. Now we got to go to, you need to try a different pharmacy. And I'm like, this shouldn't be a game every month to try to find a very, very common drug that, so many people are on, and you're just to not pay out the ass for it.
Well, what they don't understand is Tennessee families are literally deciding between, can we buy all of these groceries that we need and keep the lights on and still afford our medicine? And, they want to say it's about, this greedflation. But the reality is, if we expanded healthcare, if we raised the wage, people would have money to pay for, a lot of these things.
Yeah.
There's so much policy that they're refusing to address. That's what keeps Tennessee families down. And what I want to do is get out to all of the counties to make them understand that there are great policies out there to benefit them if we had just had folks who cared about them.
Are you doubling up when you're doing this campaigning? Because you're running in two elections. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So she's running, which I think they were trying to prevent you from doing that, and you squeezed it in quickly. And so she's running to maintain her state Senate seat, while running for a U.S. Senate seat at the same time. So when you're going around, are you pretty
Which
much
has
just,
been the law in Tennessee since the beginning. But
well, until you wanted to do
until
it.
I wanted to do it.
Until
But,
it was you. They're like,
but
oh,
what
Gloria.
really, I think they tried to play a game of chicken with me to
Yeah.
get me to not run for both, like so many Republicans run for 2 seats.
They don't know you that well then, so
No,
they should have known.
I'm going to win a game of chicken all day long.
Yeah.
They haven't beat me at that yet. So the reality is, yeah, they tried to, but what happened was ultimately they didn't want to prevent their own folks from running for 2
Yeah.
seats. So
They're
let
like,
it slide. It was literally the last day of session that he withdrew the bill.
It's ridiculous. So when you're out there, do you let people know that you are doing both, or like if you're locally here, at least those people within that district?
Yeah.
So like,
We're
hey, you
knocking
need to
doors
know. Don't be freaked out. She's going to be on there twice.
No, everybody was great. I mean, everybody asked me to do it. And, so many people in the district wanted me to do this. And I said that I would do it.
And I texted you just a couple weeks ago, went out and finally, after I've been extremely busy over all this time, but I finally got a weekend and was like, all right. Started out was going to be phone banking and ended up going to knock on doors. And I have not done that probably since it's been maybe.
See, that gives me anxiety just thinking about it.
No, I'll tell
It's
you,
really fun.
it is. Well, if you're
I would love to
when you
do
start,
it, but
it
I'm
seems
like-
kind of hard, but once you get a couple under your belt, you're fine. I think it was actually Bredesen was the last time I went and did that. But so it's been a few years. But that was it. Instead of going off the paper, I was going off of this whole whatever the app is, and it was so easy and made it so simplistic. And we took a young intern with us that seemed very uncomfortable. He was only on like day 2.
Yeah.
And I took crazy apolitical Cheryl phone girl over here who had never knocked on a door or campaigned for a soul in her entire life. And we crushed about 55, 56 houses in no time.
Oh, my gosh.
And it ended up being one of the most positive campaigning experience, door knocking. Everybody was, a lot of times people would open the door and I was wearing the shirt and they're like, okay, just keep your material, go on. We got you. And crushed a lot of them. I mean, there was only 1 or 2 people. And I think they were more of just like, I don't want to answer the door.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, they're watching the ball
the hell
game,
is
they're
on
watching
my-
the Olympics.
But I did. I was like, I got to text her and say, like, this is painless. It was so easy. And anybody that wants to volunteer should go knock that out and do it. It's so easy to do, and it only takes a couple hours out of your time. And I'm going to try to get the whole family and go do it again. Back in the day, it wasn't like that because you would go and you weren't quite sure what you were going to get. Like even like pre-vote builder and stuff like that, where you were kind of just winging it, knocking on a door, and you would have some ugly people. I know. I went down. I mean, I phone banked with you when you were running the Obama campaign in 2008, and I would sit out here in a folding chair with the cell phone, and I think we were doing North Carolina or something.
Yeah.
And so many people just like the rejection. If you don't handle rejection well, you don't want to do that.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of this has changed, and because it's dialed down, the science behind it has gotten so aware
you showed me that
that
app stuff.
you're not going to go into enemy territory or just to someone that's going to rail on you. It is so easy to do, and it only takes a couple minutes, and it's actually kind of fun. And you get to talk to people, and I did it kind of in my neighborhood, not in my neighborhood, but nearby.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And I think that people should get out there and go knock on some doors, and they'll give you a T-shirt. You show up, drop off some things. It's very simple.
Especially for people who are worried about it, like they're worried about the election, they're afraid that the other side is going to win or whatever, and they're just sitting home. And if they're watching TV and they're not talking to regular people, it really, that's why I stay in such close contact with people on the ground, because that's how you know what people are thinking. Going around to 85 counties already, 87 counties already, I was like sort of in shock. I didn't notice it at first, but this farmer in Hardeman County said to me, he goes, "It's really interesting, though, that there are hardly any Trump signs out here." And I was like,
Where's that county?
and so
Yeah,
it's
I don't
in
know.
West Tennessee.
Okay.
It's in rural West Tennessee. And he said, he goes, the whole highway that my farm is on, he said, 4 years ago, had Trump signs at every farm except mine. He said, there's not one on that highway now.
That's a good sign, too.
And that is the same. My mom lives off Raccoon Valley Road.
Oh, I know where
So
that
we're settling her estate and all of that. And down Raccoon Valley Road between the interstate and Clinton Highway, there were tons of them.
Yeah.
4 years ago,
Yeah.
even up to 2 years ago, because they kept them up after the loss that
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And but there are none now in the stretch between her house and the interstate. And I'm like, that's
Well, I mean,
really interesting.
Some of the crazy, I think, at some point had to be there has to be a line somewhere for most people.
Yeah, I
I
think
would hope.
34 convictions of felonies, might do it.
That's fake news.
The aggravated or the sexual assaults, in civil court, won by a woman, all of the fraud and just what a lot of people on the trail for me, like when I first started back in September, when we first started this campaign, a lot of the Republicans and independents who were coming to us were coming because of Dobbs and gun violence. That's really why a lot of them came in. It still is a lot of those folks. But like the third most common thing I hear from people is the vitriol and hatred from my party. And that's why a lot of people are coming to Democratic candidates. That's what they tell me.
Oh, the hatred coming from their party.
Yeah, that they're really tired of it. I had a couple
It's
come
insane.
up. I had a couple come up to me in a rural county to say, and they were probably you guys' age, and they said, we've been Republicans our whole life, but we just can't do it anymore. And I said, well, what made you switch, brought you over? We're evangelical Christians, and I don't think that this is Christianity. And I thought that was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, because I know some that are Christians, and they still somehow do the mental gymnastics required to say that he's a Christian.
Make it all
and
link
they
up.
go, "God."
And these folks they had really thought hard about it, and they said, not only have we never given to a Republican candidate or any candidate, a Democratic candidate, she said, we've never given to a Republican candidate, but she said, we gave to your campaign twice.
Wow,
that's great.
Awesome.
And I was
That's
just
great.
like,
All right.
wow.
That's good stuff.
Man,
So, and if you want to donate, you can go do that, and you can go through. Go just look up Gloria Johnson. It'll take you to Act Blue. You can do it one time, or you can set it up to write it out for the next. We got about 2.5 months.
Yeah, don't
All right,
say that.
just
That freaks me out a little
make
bit.
one large one. I forgot. So yeah, I'm going to be out of the country during the election, which is going to be awesome. I'm
You
going to
better
early
be
vote.
absentee vote. Okay.
I'm an absentee vote, but I'm gonna be around the world, and I think I'm gonna have to call back and be like, "Did y'all screw it up? Do I need to stay here?
All
Do I need
right.
to- like,
Yeah, you're in a good position.
Where are you going?
going to Nepal,
Oh, cool.
so I can be like, do I stay in Kathmandu, or and I can bring the family over, and it'd be like Bob Seger.
Escape.
Yeah, but I think I feel really good about how things are going. So
No, it feels great on the ground, and that's why I say people should go out, not doors. They should go out and talk to people, because I have a lot of friends who are super busy, and maybe they have 2 jobs, and they feel like they're just so desperate because they don't know what's going on. And I said, man, if you can just take 30 minutes out of your week to make some phone calls, you will feel so much better, because you're pushing back, and you will hear what people are saying, and it's really positive. And so I tell people that if you're frustrated and you're worried, even if it's just 30 minutes,
well, it doesn't.
do it.
People
You
don't
feel
understand. They can get in there and they can bloviate and they can bitch all they want online about something. But I'm like, go do something. If you support that, go do it for your person, whoever.
yeah,
Just
whoever that is.
go participate in the process.
I give money.
Because you'll,
Yeah.
but it kind of gives you a different perspective of when you're doing that, because you actually are talking to people and you're thinking, I'm like, at least I'm trying, I'm doing something, but also you talk to people and you're having this face-to-face conversation, or you're doing it over the phone, and you realize what a lot of that you're interacting, and it's not the opinion, because I know when I posted that I had done this for you, and there's this one asshat that I can't get rid of on Facebook just because I like to tell him where he can shove it every time he comments, like twice a year. But he's like, she's going to get her ass kicked. But I'm like, probably so. But you don't know that, because I hit 55, 56 houses today, and it was 99% positive. And that person probably was on the toilet and it was angry. And I think Cheryl had that one. But, like a kind of an agitated person, but everything, it's all positive. I go, and you've done it at such a good time, especially after recent things have changed as far as getting out the vote. And I'm like, if anything, you have her scared. She's a little bit worried because I don't think she's been presented with a challenge yet. And I think this is like oh hell, I'm going to have to maybe try something.
I'm gonna have to do something.
Maybe not
At
that
least
she's
work
doing it.
during the campaign.
Right now, all we've gotten is a stupid ass Olympic commercial from from Riley Gaines of all people, who went to Kentucky, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want. I'm going to break my TV every time I saw it. And
No, the best one. The best one is the one about
The cartoon.
strong females. The one that's like all pro women. I'm like, what kind of?
Yeah, somebody
freaking-
who voted against the Violence Against
Yeah.
Women Act, voted against equal pay for equal work, voted against access to contraception and IVF, and supports a federal abortion ban and says life begins at conception. That's not somebody who supports women.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And children. She doesn't support children when she doesn't
once they're
support
born.
gun sense legislation. No, she
cares about it until they're born.
She's voted against every piece of gun legislation to keep guns from getting in the hands of dangerous people who are shooting up our kids' classrooms. I mean,
and shooting the former president.
Yeah.
In
our communities.
Nicking his ear with some glass. But nonetheless, that entire thing goes down, raised hell about it. The optics were very great for him for about 3 days with all the, but
Oh yeah.
not at any point in that conversation did it come up the access to the gun.
Right, because all I could think
It's
I
insane.
could think about is it doesn't matter who you are. No one, not one of us, no matter how rich, how powerful, is safe from gun violence.
No, it's crazy.
So we can do something to prevent the guns from getting in the hands of dangerous people. I'm a gun owner. I'm not taking away guns. They love to scream that we're taking away guns.
Every time.
You know, I've got a gun. I shoot it regularly. And I believe people should have a right to have guns to protect their family, guns to hunt. But if you need an AR-15 to kill a deer, you probably don't need a gun.
Well, I'm a terrible shot. So I need a lot of shots.
Probably don't need to be hunting at that point. So.
I mean, the reality is we can have universal background checks. We can have safe storage laws. I mean,
It should be at least as difficult as driving a car, getting a driver's license.
well, exactly. And I took when I did get the gun, and it's my father's service revolver, and that's why I want to keep it.
Nice.
I took the 8-hour course that we used to have that was successful and worked when people wanted to get a carry permit. I didn't intend to carry, but I just took the course to see what all it was.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so glad I did because I learned a lot. But the reality is all we want to do is keep our community safe. And this idea that somebody's going to come and take all guns is so dishonest. And it's just a lie straight from the Tennessee Firearm Association and the NRA. Also, Marsha Blackburn receives one of the top receivers of NRA dollars.
Of course she does, yeah.
And hasn't seen a gun sense bill she likes. So to say you're protecting kids when gun violence is the number one killer of children.
Yeah.
And in Tennessee,
I've had to show that to several people. That are
and
like,
in
"Well."
in Tennessee, we lose 36% more kids to gun violence than the national average.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Most people don't
That's
know
sad.
that.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
36% more
Than the national average.
Are we number one?
I don't know for number one.
We're number
Well,
one.
maybe we could strive for something.
But yeah, I mean, Governor Lee does talk a lot about being number one, but the things that we're number one in, like
No,
that,
you don't want to be
and
good.
medical
Yeah.
bankruptcy, maternal mortality, infant mortality, these are not the things
I'll wear
to
my
be the
fanboy
best
shirt.
at. Okay.
You know, just a good God. Anyway,
Yeah.
but no, that's staggering. That's a crazy.
We don't have to live this way.
No,
we can
don't.
pass simple laws that put in protections that keep people who do the right things with their guns get to keep their guns, but we make sure we keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm hoping this goes well, and I think you're going to have some momentum. I hope we get a debate
God,
or a
come on,
non-debate,
Marsha.
and someone shows up, Gloria. And I don't think that would be a bad move, honestly, for Marsha. I think it would be a bad move for Burchett to show up and try to debate Jane George. I just think showing up and being pushed back on anything they believe in is going to be terrible because they're going to be exposed to a certain group of people for just some idiocy.
Well, this is why
I'd
they
like to
don't
have
pick.
live fact checking.
That would be
When that
awesome.
happens,
Right.
that's important because I know how they'll try to get out of it. We see that all the time.
Oh yeah,
happening.
yeah, just lie. Well, I mean, both of those people actually just lie their ass off.
Well, it's
constantly
just-
on Twitter. It's
Yeah.
just man, just yapping, and there's a bunch of people like, well, dadgummit, they're good people. So anyway.
Dadgummit.
All right,
Are you
your
doing
phone-
your bird shit? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that was my bird shit. I'm gonna go squatching tomorrow.
All right.
Ride my longboard
my
out and do it.
goodness.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
okay.
I just want to get back to the real quick.
Yes.
Marsha Blackburn and the women thing. It's insane. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I've been
I mean-
obsessing on that commercial since I saw it. Like, that is the biggest load of that
Well,
I've. Wow.
Especially
Wow.
when you
It's
think about
ridiculous.
the top of the ticket on their side. You've got a guy who is a sexual assaulter at the top, also convicted of 34 felonies. You have a VP candidate who believes that women should stay with their abusers, believes that women without children shouldn't have a voice in society, and believes in a federal abortion ban.
Today.
That's what he believes now.
Today.
He will always believe that, whether not he says he believes it. So for the trifecta of terror for women is Marsha Blackburn, who voted against the Violence Against Women Act, who voted against equal pay for equal work, and who voted against contraception IVF, and also wants a federal abortion ban. Imagine the state of women and girls in Tennessee under those three, and then the Tennessee supermajority. Their women and girls are at huge risk. Huge risk. And it is terrifying to me in a state that is going to force a 10-year-old to carry her rapist baby. And 1/3 of our state has no OBGYN. More than 1/3 of our state has no delivery room or hospital. Then you've got, since Dobbs' decision, 21% of OBGYNs, we've had a drop in them coming to Tennessee.
Right.
They're not, OBGYN aren't coming to Tennessee to be residents because they can't get the full practice here. So they're going to other states where they can get the full practice and not have to double up in 2 states. And what happens with residents? People who do their residency in a state, typically the majority of them stay in that state.
Yeah.
So we were 1/3 of the state is short of OBGYN. Imagine the next year and the next year and the next year when we have fewer and fewer residents coming to Tennessee. And it's all women of all ages who need an OBGYN, not just pregnant women.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And not
Well,
having access to that, it's incredible
It's
that
dangerous.
anybody would even think that's a
Well,
good
I'm
idea.
hoping, and I know we've been saying this probably since the boomers were at the age of the, kids getting ready to vote for the first time and all that. I think these kids are the ones that are gonna be the ones that finally. I still haven't figured out the boomers going from hippie, pot smoking, acid tripping to cocaine fueled stock market a-holes. I don't know how that happened, but
That's what
I
I'm saying.
remember Family Ties, wasn't that?
all right,
That's all I
right,
think
right.
about those parents, and then they had the Alex P. Keaton.
Right.
Now, what was it? Someone was telling me there was a statistic recently of how many boomers had died since the last election. And it was like how many of those people died off. And it's like the bulk of them were probably voting very conservatively, but they're not going to be voting this time. And those that are now going to be voting are probably going to be leaning more liberal. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think there's going to be a shift that someone's not going to.
I want to see that.
We actually have a good friend of ours that is like, it's going to be straight up
Oh
like
yeah,
a
he's
Reagan. And I
convinced
go,
it's going to be a bloodbath.
it's not going to be a bloodbath. I'm not
He
going to see
thinks
it.
that
thinks it's gonna be-
Republicans are
No,
going to
the Democratic Party. He's like, it's going to be. And I was like,
He's like,
Could
we
be.
could possibly.
we're not
take
seeing
the
a
House
Reagan
and the
Carter
Senate.
scenario here. That's
I
not going to happen. But
think we will.
Yeah,
you,
that's
really, you're
what he
behind
said.
that too? Oh man.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not saying bloodbath. I don't think it's going to be.
Well, not in that
big of
terms.
a-
That's a terrible word to
I
say.
think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, what you say was a whole lot of Democrats winning, and
Right. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I. That
But
was the
I mean,
term.
I feel pretty positive about the presidency, and I feel positive about the House, and I'm starting to feel pretty good about the Senate.
All right.
I think I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, I just get so bogged down listening to it, and then the total fear I get listening to
It's
the other
exhausting.
side. I'm just like, oh my god, these people are insane.
Well, a lot of those folks are, and that is why so many Republicans. I've never seen so many Republicans actually coming out and saying, "I'm voting for Harrison Walz." You know, this is happening by
Because the
currently elected Republicans
Mm-hmm.
because Project 2025 is scary.
It's terrifying. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem real.
I mean, getting rid of federal funding for education, that means free and reduced lunches. It means all the money for special ed, and it means all the money for equity in our schools so that this zip code has well-resourced classrooms just like this
That's how
zip
you
code.
get rid of the undesirables.
Well, that's how they want to, what they
You
want
know
to
what
get
I mean?
rid of.
That's how
Yeah.
you.
What they
that's
want to
just
get rid of is the civil rights that go along
Right.
with those federal dollars, which go to care for the disabled and black communities, brown communities, and rural communities. Understand, folks, that it's Appalachia too, you know.
Well, they did a good job after the Civil War of pitting poor rural people
Right.
against the released slaves,
And
so
that's-
since then,
this is how Republicans win. They don't win on policy, they have none.
fear.
They win on othering groups. They try to put a wedge in there to divide us against some other
Yeah.
group. You know, and what I saw at the Capitol when those thousands of people came after Covenant, after that horrible shooting, and all those people, those 3 kids and 3 staff died, what I saw was this huge coalition coming together. It was multiracial, multi-generational, and multi-partisan. And those people, for more than a week, stood together, they sang together, they chanted together, they had lunch together, and they committed to each other as we head into November of 2024. And I don't think they're going to be able to break us apart on those crazy wedge issues that they're trying to
Well,
divide
I mean,
us
I
on.
hope that's finally the case because it's just I don't know. There's a lot of crazy. When
Yeah,
you start
I mean,
looking at that.
You know, you don't have to agree with everybody. You know, when you're a U.S. Senator, you represent everyone in Tennessee.
Right.
Our current representation
Oh,
doesn't
no.
respect the human dignity of most Tennesseans.
No.
And so,
Well, Marcia's out for Marcia.
right, well, exactly. But you have
said
to
it.
at least recognize the human dignity of every person. And you can disagree with somebody, but you should be able to have a conversation about them. You also should be able to explain your vote and why you vote a certain way,
Right.
and listen to them when they tell you why they disagree.
Well, people also don't bother to look how people vote or how she votes. So she can run these pro woman and pro whatever, pro children or
Yeah, we'll be
keep
getting
sort
that information out.
of- Yeah, good. Please do because it's
Please do.
insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
So,
it's not pro Tennessee family. That's
No.
for sure.
do you have anything planned for around here in the next 2 months?
Let's see. Next Saturday there is a rally on Market Square for Harris Wall's ticket,
Okay.
and so that's
Saturday?
next Saturday on Market Square. I think around 5.
All right.
So that's the next local thing I know about.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, good. It's good to get out and about, and we'll try to show up. We have a
Yeah.
fantasy football draft at 6, I think. So we could swing.
You
by
could show up and do a big rah rah.
That's okay.
Yeah, we can do both.
You'll have to remind me of both.
I'll remind you of both.
Because
you know.
people are so excited, everybody is.
No, there's
just
a
super,
momentum
super
right
It
now.
feels.
So-
I mean, that I feel for sure. It's
Yeah.
like, man, and I want to believe that it's not just people that were definitely going to vote that way anyway. Because
Yeah.
I think people that were like, there's a chunk that were like, I'm not voting.
Yeah.
I'm just not going. That are now like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean but I can tell you, like I walked in Panera the other day, and these people jumped up and ran over to say hey and thanks and all the
Nice.
things. And I was at a doctor's appointment, and like I was leaving, and a woman came and grabbed me. She worked there, and she was just like, "Thank you so much."
Huh.
I didn't want to say that in there, but I just want you to know. And it's just constant. People are paying attention like I've never seen.
I think
Good.
so. They need to keep paying attention.
Well, my son gets to vote for the first time in this
Oh,
election.
wow,
My-
that's cool.
My youngest just voted for the first time in the primary, so she got to vote for you and for Shane. And actually,
Excellent.
she didn't vote for Shane. I take that back because she registered for her dorm room.
Oh.
We need to change that. We'll fix it anyway. But she got to vote for you. So
Good,
anyway,
good.
I was like, yeah, her first vote was for Gloria, so that was awesome. But yeah, so Derek and I are going to talk for 2 hours. We were actually just going to wing it until we got to We originally had a band coming down. That
Yeah,
fell
Ghost
through.
Blanket. They're playing Sunday at Lost and Found Records for the benefit. They're playing third.
I wish I could be here Sunday.
Well, we're gonna. Well, you got more important things.
Yeah, a little bit.
I
A little
can
bit. You
donate.
got to get Marsha Blackburn out of office.
You have always been cool and come down for years.
Yeah.
To radio, and so you weren't here at the time we were talking. So what we're going to do is we're establishing a radio station here in the studio.
is so
It's going to be up here in the
fabulous.
front, I believe.
Fishbowl.
Amos in the fishbowl. And a lot of the displaced DJs, Sarah out there who won't get on TV, but there's a whole group of us, and they're all kind of bonding together. And we're starting. It's going to be internet at first. Maybe we'll acquire a low power FM at some point.
Everyone can stream
You got
though.
it. Everybody can stream it. You can stream it in your car, and we're going to be doing it here. And of course, they'll still be broadcasting. Like if the historical society has a speaker, or
Yeah,
something one day, whatever.
right.
But we're gonna. There's a
It's
lot
going to
we
be
gotta
very
figure out.
community oriented for sure.
Very community oriented, and it seems like sponsors and business. It seems like people are kind of behind it, just like
Good.
because the former location
Joe Mazer.
is not continuing with the local like underwriting and sponsorship and what, and so we're trying to migrate down here. And Knox Community Media has been amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, Amos.
About just grabbing
Oaks.
it, and so and also shout out to Wozo. They've been
Oh
amazing.
yeah, those
and-
guys have been super cool. There's still people over there right
yeah,
now.
yeah, they're doing it, and we had the Wozo guys in here, a couple of them. They've been great, but we need to, in a local community, you need that. And I know you've
Yeah.
always been big on local music and arts and everything, and go way back to even like early Scott Miller Hawkeyes days, and that whole scene is very important, especially I think an important part of this town, as we have people like Ashley that's brought big ears and all this. And the arts community here is huge, and I just
Yeah.
don't think the university recognized that.
They don't care.
And they don't care. And so what we're trying to do here
Problem.
is we're putting our feelers out, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do, and then we'll have the Funhouse back, not on TV, thank God.
Nope.
Be doing just
I mean,
radio.
if we have bands in, then we'll put the bands on. We might come in and
Yeah.
introduce them and say, but yeah, we're not. No.
If you want to come in and like interpret a breakdance,
Right.
you can do like Ray Gun. you
Well,
know?
I think I'm learning from Reagan.
Okay, yeah, you can just
Oh my goodness.
roll around. But yeah, no, it's going to be really cool, and hopefully we'll
I'm
get
getting
set
ready
pretty
for
soon,
Olympic
so.
Scrabble. I mean, if they're going to
Olympic
do that, can we do Olympic Scrabble?
Olympic foosball.
I'll take anybody.
Oh, Olympic foosball.
Olympic foosball.
Yeah, so Breaking won't be back actually in LA.
That's probably for the best.
Probably, but yeah. I enjoyed watching it once. So, but anyway,
I enjoy the remakes with cats and other things.
Oh yeah, it is. I know. Once you go down that rabbit hole, you're just like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, I need to go to bed.
This
Put
is
the phone away.
right. That's the downfall of America. Cat
Yeah.
videos. We can't stop.
Well, I am a childless cat owner, so
Oh, there
there's
you
that.
Yeah. Well,
You're part of the problem.
you are part of the problem. Childless cat lady. So,
Well,
man.
so Gloria, thank you
Thank you
so
guys.
much again, and hopefully we get to have you in the radio on the radio after you win.
Okay, absolutely. I'll come
100%.
on
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
anytime.
It's gonna happen.
We're gonna have a kegger.
Yeah. We'll set it up out in the lobby. Tell the guard. It'll be like Office Christmas Party.
There you go.
You ever seen that movie? It'll just be
We've already
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the green.
Yeah.
We do got the green. We can put anything up behind us we want. So
Yeah, we had the fun house. We had the Benny
Yeah.
sign up
we
there
had the big
before.
sign up there. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll
so-
put up some new logos. We should
Sun-
put a big Gloria. Standing tall.
Okay, so if when she wins, we will have a Gloria
Yes,
thing.
when she wins. Okay, good.
With her
Good.
with a boot on March's head.
Pay attention to those polls. They're looking better and better.
Yes,
It's gonna
get
be-
out and vote.
If you're not registered, well,
I got to get Will
Should've
registered.
read-
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
hey, there's a deadline for that really soon.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be able to go do
Yeah,
that.
you need to do that Monday.
All right.
It's
Remind me.
very, you can do it online.
Do it online.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, but if he turns it in person, then he can, if he can vote absentee if he needs to. But if he's around, it's
He's
fine.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway.
On YouTube.
All right, but yeah, so we're gonna be wrapping it up. Don't forget Sunday.
That's what
Get
I was
out to the Lost and Found at 4:00 and 4 to 9. Just show up at some point, see what we got going on. Looks like the weather's gonna be good, I believe. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna rain early in the day. But
Early.
we should be good after that. Bring you a chair if you want to sit in the parking
Chairs,
lot.
yeah.
It's gravel. They're gonna have beverages.
Cash.
They playing on the porch.
Play on
Yep.
the porch. It's gonna be
Okay.
like record store day, but not as many people.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it'd be great if we got that many. but
Yeah, you might get
I'm-
that many.
I'm realistic, so
Yeah,
it
record
happens.
store day is an animal.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen Dos Fuegos, nothing against nothing to slight the other artists that are playing, but Dos Fuegos is a band you got to see live. They're a two-piece. One guy is just doing some hip hop, and Yachty is the other guy's playing drums and guitar at the same time. And it is mind blowing. You start looking, you're going, I don't understand. My brain can't process what this man is doing. And then with the flow on top of it, it's incredible. So come out and check them out. They'll be playing at 7. So it'll be good stuff. Anyway, all right. Well, we're going to wrap it up.
How long did we make it?
Down.
85 minutes?
85? No, that's not 80. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
something like
9:15.
that. All right, there we go. All right. Well, go kick some ass.
Yes.
Thanks
guys,
so
take
much.
care.
We love you, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you guys, you're awesome.
Knoxville, we will see you Sunday.
Cheers.
Thank you. We out.
Good stuff.
Okay.
All right, man.